Welcome to one of the Kosher Terroir's short segments that we fondly call Tasting Notes. I had the pleasure of one of my good friends from the UK visiting, David Saleh. He was here to assist in recording an episode with Josh Rinderman from South Africa. And after being on the air, we sat and shared some wine and tasted it and described it. So here to give you a little bit of a vicarious tasting is David Saleh and myself. Enjoy. I'm having a discussion with David Saleh at the moment, who happened to be in Israel, and I said, hey, why don't you come over into Jerusalem?
It's a pleasure to listen in. Why don't we do a little review
I would love to.
of what we have here? Your very exciting wine you have here.
We're tasting a wine called Camellia, which is from Flam. This happens to be the 2022 edition, which means that because it's a Shemitah wine, very few people are going to get a taste of this because they're not going to export it. Kedem won't touch it. Won't bring it out of Israel.
And we've already drunk 3/4 of it.
Yes, so that's part of the reason for the slurring in the interviews.
Right.
But it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. Do you want to talk about this one? I think I had the first vintage. I loved it. I loved the first vintage, which I think was a blend, but this seems to be 100% Chardonnay. Is that correct?
Yeah, it says, but it doesn't always mean that.
Okay.
It doesn't always. They don't really have to put everything on it. I'm looking. 13.5% alcohol, 100%. Yeah. So I think it is 100% Chard, but it.
We have to describe this to the listeners.
Go ahead, please. You're the sommelier.
I'm not a sommelier.
You're.
We have to describe this. How do we describe it? It's pale lemon. It's got a medium aromatic intensity. I'm going to call some aromas out. Peach.
Certainly.
It's got lemon, green apple. It's got a bit of florality to it as well, some flowers in that. It's very, very nice. Before then you can definitely get the brioche and cream. I think this has been allowed to rest on the lees, and also getting a bit of oak. It's a full body white wine. This is a food wine, really.
This is a full-bodied wine that really goes. It surrounds the palate. It fills it.
Well, let's have a go. L'chaim. L'chaim.
An incredibly long finish. I mean, I'm still tasting it, even though I tasted it a few moments ago and what have you. It's still going on and on and on in the back of my palate. It always has been a full, a very long finish on this wine. It's one of the things that I always appreciated with it. I love the winemakers. I love the winemaker. They're a super family, the Flams, and they've been making some incredible new wines that are just really special.
I don't think we have enough of this style of wine, sort of higher end, full body. Is really. I think Castel C maybe comes into that.
No,
have you got others?
Yes.
Go on. Let's have the list.
I'm going to make you.
Give me a list.
No, I'm going to make you think.
Go on.
And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because you just recently visited Vidgen and that Macabeo.
I haven't had it yet. Go on.
You haven't had it?
No, I just got the bottle.
Oh, you didn't taste it there with him?
I literally tasted it on the way out because he says I had a special wine that's under the table. You have to tell us about this wine. It's in my fridge at the moment.
The Macabeo is just awesome.
He told me it's only in 4 hotels. Kempinski, it's like in the high end. It's not easily available, right?
It isn't. He sells it to some customers.
Right.
He doesn't make a lot of it.
Right.
He brought it back from Spain and planted it and what have you. But the reason they call it Macabeo, I mean, is it's an interesting thing that
nothing to do with the Maccabees.
Yeah, it could actually be. It could actually be that
it's like Chardonnay.
It's like the Chardonnay.
Yeah.
I had this discussion with Jay Buxbaum a few weeks ago, on an earlier podcast. But there is a certain sense that Macabeo actually its origin was from here, and it was brought to Spain, and now we're bringing it back. So it's really a very full-bodied white. And what's cool is, I was involved with a production of a wine called ASAP with Avi Davidovitz and myself and Asaf Paz. Mm-hmm. And we made a white, and the kicker in the white that made it like over the top, just made it really special, was the Macabeo.
So we put
we put some Macabeo into it. That was part of the blend.
Okay.
And it made a wow. It just wowed the wine, and it made it really special. Cool. It takes a lot of work to make a Chardonnay taste as full as this. This is really fine winemaking.
You drink this, it's just nice and juicy. I mean, also in warm climate like this, hot now, what are we, 32 degrees, 33 degrees outside, you really want a white wine. I mean, you need white wine. Yeah.
No, I agree.
In England, where it's cold, you tend to want to drink red wines. Right. But here, this you want to drink white wine in this weather.
It's a pleasure. I really love it.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me all the way down here to participate in your podcast. It's a fantastic endeavor. It was very interesting listening to.
It's a pleasure.
To what you were saying.
Yeah. It's a pleasure. There's so many incredibly creative winemakers. Josh is just this young machine. He's like unbelievable. But there's so many really incredible winemakers out there that I just feel like it's unending. There's so many subjects between the winemakers and even some of the winery owners and some of the varietals, the new varietals that are coming out that are just really interesting. I'm looking forward. It should be a lot of fun.
As we are.
Pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you. Enjoy Israel and have an easy trip back to England.
Thank you. Thank you.